Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I just got through listening to a couple songs over on 007. He's been playing for a couple hours, so I was late. We were up before the sun, like way before an hour at least, and Doug had a bonfire going, burning some scrap wood and kind of cleaning up the yard and that type of thing before 8 o'clock, probably about 7:30 this morning. So um, I'm going to talk a little bit about people's expectations in relationships and whether it's with or without a contract, and when you meet people and whether or not they're deceiving, if they've practiced their game. I mean, you may think you're street smart out there. And, see, the thing is, too, like when I met Doug, he knew the things I had been through before. He knew full well what my expectations in a relationship or even a friendship were. My exact words to him: if you're not Christ, you better be Christ-like, or I will want you dead. Um, is there anything you can put in there to make anything outside of my expectations fit? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, yeah, they'll get out here and say, oh, boo-hoo, or boo-hoo this and that, but a lot of people are not me. And when I decided to, like, I never really went out in this world looking for a relationship like that. But I did, however, have men that were pretty smooth in my life that, yeah, my expectations are like way out there. And I never, ever let a man fill the spot in my heart where God is. And that becomes an issue sometimes with people's egos. Um, and it did, and it does. But that's just me. So, my straightforward honesty has and will never change with people. And if they do things out of sorts to my expectations, they can expect that I'm going to freely speak about it without any qualms, you know? So there you go. That's me. I'm not your typical, oh, we got married and bitch about this, bitch about that. No, that's not where I'm at all. So, and I always give people, you get what you give. I love that song, Free Radicals, or The Radicals, Free Radicals. Can't remember. I'm more like a free radical in everybody's blood. But yeah, that'll get you every time. So, yeah. Mm. I ran across a mother of four, one of my friends on Facebook, and she had decided after her fourth child in her 40s that she was going to give birth to her daughter at home and not allow people that would like maybe talk bad about her because she has a narcissistic mother um even be around to watch her children while she had to go to work. I used to have such problems finding babysitters. That's why I started Dryball, so I could take my kids with me, you know. It's like when I worked at the school, I was lucky enough that my adopted dad watched my youngest one when he wasn't in school yet, or might have been in kindergarten, maybe half days. Can't remember. But and I would clean their house for them watching my kid. I never, well, I would say him watching my kid. I did not, I trusted my adopted dad around my kids more than I did my adopted mother because she's just not all right. Now, that's a good song. Anyway, so yeah. But yeah, I told this woman, I'm proud of you, just stay strong because I know what it's like in the world when um there's people out there that have like either they can afford great daycare for their kids or they have family that help and that type of thing. And when you don't have that kind of support structure in your life, uh, it takes a lot of strength to walk through this world. I mean, getting your kids to the doctor, teachers' meetings, things you got to do with your child in your home. Ideally, if the mother can take care of the home and her children without having to go out to work, typically there's plenty to do around the house every day, you know. So anyway, I think moms need to be with their children more. That's my outlook on it. Of course, now with the web the way it is and people doing their work at home, which they loved when all that vaccine bullshit was going on, uh, allowed women to do work from home. That's not good either. Oh, it's just bad. That's my opinion. I think men should work for their families. Um, Not that women can't or shouldn't help in times of need. It just shouldn't be expected. Um, if you have a man in your life that expects you to leave your child to make things better in the home for him, who's the child? That I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not, and I worked out of my home. It's not like I used to stay up all night long just to get things done, barely get sleep and get up and do it again. Made myself sick working too hard. But so I really understand what I'm talking about. And single mothers, you don't have a choice. I might as well have been single. Um, when things got really bad and I needed to try and form some structure and some reliability in my children's life, even their sleeping patterns and when your spouse makes things harder in the relationship than he's worth. I mean, if you're doing it all anyway, you don't need him. You might as well just do it all then, right? That's the position. Well, it was worse than that, but that's part of the position I found myself in. So, yeah, anyway. But there's nothing I say on here that Doug doesn't know what I'm talking about. If he's not listening to me, what I'm saying, he might watch it later. Um, our my openness and my honesty in everything I do in my life is not hidden to people. Other people seem to think that being seclusive with your thoughts or not speaking what's on your mind or that it leaves you in some sort of vulnerability or people could use your words against you or none of that matters to me. I don't care. Bring it on. You know, I got some, always got something for you. You got something for me. I have something for you. Always. Not a doubt in my mind. Bring it on. So, and it was made very clear from the very beginning that if I was used, it wasn't for free and it would cost everything to mess with me. That was the that was the reasoning behind my strength and my honesty going into relationships. So, yeah. And I know a lot of people get crossed in this world in relationships. That's all good. But what sort of ideal did you set in play going into the thing? Did you have set things in your life that you agreed upon? And if they were breached, I mean, I'm astringent factors that I expect around my life out of people. And you better believe I'll hold you to it too. And people can pretend that they have virtues. Well, not around me, you won't pretend. I'll beat 'em out of you, metaphorically. Your virtues? Yeah, I will. Yeah, so that's my personality. That's who I am. I do not hide, or people say they don't sugarcoat and they say things straight up and then they sound like maybe sort of crass or um like way out there. Or I've seen people flip out for like things in their life that they actually deserve, like couples and that type of thing. I'm going to tell you what, you stomp on my innocence and I'm going to combat you like nobody ever has. That's the only way I can tell you that, you know. And there's a lot more to what my life is all about too, because I don't build a place. I don't like when I moved up here, we made plans as friends and I didn't just leave my house to move into somebody's house for free. I paid my way and I put time and effort into all kinds of things, thousands of dollars, um, hours, and endless years of work. And people like if you talk about anything bad that's going on in your life, like you're um, looking for somebody to actually maybe console or counsel somebody that's trying to be narcissistic and you're pinpointing things with accurate, even if it's the philosophy of uh psychology is a pseudoscience, but experts um in correlation have uh there's a set of rules in the mental health manual, the DM, so there's a set kind of guidelines on human behavior. And I did not go into this situation without the expectation that if things didn't go my way, that there wouldn't be a problem. And everybody's always like, well, why don't you leave? Why? Should I leave what I've put decades of work into? It's not gonna happen. I have land. He has a shop. I mean, either one of us could make it so miserable that the other would not even be able to function. We tried that. That was fun. I'm always up for that if somebody else wants to be like that. Might take me a while, but I'll get you back with extra. You know, that type of feeling, but everybody, they're like with the woman. Well, you should just leave. No, no. Actually, um, I'll just tell you a little something. I had him thrown in jail overnight one time. Then I went to a women's shelter and had it documented that if he put hands on people anymore, that he was going to jail and not coming out for a very long time. And then I would also let it be known how he treated children. All this, this is um yes, my children were young. Some of you know my kids, some of you don't, but they're not your average little kids. They were not like that. They were born warriors, you know. So what was going on in this house was a fight against the dark cabal that people didn't experience only in the ether, but actually, and that scared them. But you have no clue the price somebody pays for trying to intrude on innocence and what's actually still going on in this world and within my life. So that's the way that is. And I've thought at times too that I could put like we talked about building like a little place down by the creek and still could, or putting I have thought of making like a what they call a she shed or whatever. And I still might, you know, put it on the property and whatever. But my life is different than other people's. I never expected it to be um, the closeness that maybe a man and wife should have because, like I say, I had other factors in my heart and soul that people knew. And I got beat up for it. Not in this house. I got smacked once and jumped on. Don't get me wrong. It's not that he didn't pay for it. It's not that we fight physically all the time or anything. And this was decades ago. I'm just saying, because nobody's going to touch me and get away with it. I will fucking hurt you. That type of feeling. The last time he tried, well, he smacked me in my temple. And like I said, I have it now. If he puts hands on anybody, he's going bye bye. But he tried charging me, and I used a keto on him, and he ended up flying into the wall head first. You know, it's that old momentum thing. So, no, we don't play around here, but I did go into this situation knowing what I was doing and the reason I was doing it. And you will see a change in the world because of it. You already have. Because I was being followed by the dark cabal everywhere I went. This dude showed up at a friend's house that I was remodeling, mutual friend, but and I had seen him around like all my life, even in the ether. And yeah, I know who I was battling and why, and the chemical exchange that my mind went in guarded from from the beginning. So no worries on that note. I know what I'm up to, you know. So yeah, you better believe that um the combination between people um is a chemical thing that changes you from the inside out. And if you do not know what you're doing when you get with somebody, you might die. Yeah, you might not live through it. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to be really clear with people that if I say something about Doug, he knows what I'm saying. I say whatever the guy want all the time. So, you know. So anyway, I mean, it's not that I try to be rude to people on purpose, but there's certain entities out on this planet that need to be held responsible and put in check. And that's just the way life is. Sometimes you can't have all you want on this planet. There's more important things that need to be, the stage needs to be set for the next generation. And sometimes things are more important than what we realize by what we do in, or say in our daily lives to other people. So some people just can't talk like a human. They have problems. Other people talk too much and don't really have an awful lot to say unless it sounds identical to everybody else. Then that's pretty easy to say, and it's pretty easy to get applauded for um, in groups that are applauding your type of thing. you know. So obviously, there's people that are here that are like similar thoughts that we can applaud each other for our oddities or whatever. But back to the ones that say they don't sugarcoat their words. No, but what is actually your point? What are you trying to say when um, are you talking straightforward or are you just being crass for no reason? See, that's all I'm trying to say to people. I always have a reason. If my mouth goes foul, I've planned that because that's my nature, you know? I'm not trying to be God. I wonder if God swears. I'm thinking he might. I know he damns people. He'll curse you too, so yeah, probably right. I had a list. I have a video where I read like 56 nasty things that Jesus said. Filthy. Super funny. Yeah. And then there's also a pretty big list on the things that God hates. And people are like, God doesn't hate. Oh, yes, God hates. So stop trying to pretend you're somebody you're not because just be yourself. Talk how people talk. You know, a lot of people are afraid to get out there and say anything because of what other people are going to think. So who cares, right? Do you really care what another person thinks about your thoughts? Like, about you, your inner thoughts. I guess it would depend on what your inner thoughts are. You might want to keep them secluded. I don't have that problem. I don't care. And when I say I don't care, it's about the things that do not need care. It's like the women in my life that I surround myself with, or um, we have understanding as women. Most of them are secluded. Most of them just want to be left the hell alone. The strong women that um, I won't say I have a lot of friends, but I know there's women out there that love me and respect me, and I feel the same way about them. You know, we're just not the real chummy type, hang around, gotta go shopping or what the fuck ever. It's like my friend Dee and we went fishing, a couple times, had a picnic or whatever, that type of thing. That's, a little different than most women aren't like that. But there are women that I've met in my life, and I know that I've left an imprint. It's just like, um, oh, it's like the women in my family. Um, I won't say, well, yeah, the my mother's daughters, they understand me. I know they do. Especially the two youngest one. Well, the oldest one, she understands me. She's way different than me, but we understand each other a lot. Do you ever hear the myth or the fable of the seven sisters? I have. We are seven sisters. That's a sign of the apocalypse. That's a little something weird in my life, you know. Somebody's concerned if there's going to be like, oh, I can only put it like this. I have made like disciples in my life, through the decades, in different states, and um, friendships with women that I know. There is a part of me out there that I nurtured, and it's not, um, if somebody thinks that you can uh, teach a woman to be a warrior by being cruel or combative, that they don't need nurturing, it's just the opposite. By my um, true love and consideration for other women in this world, and the way a woman should be treated, makes them more of a warrior, because somebody would intrude on that soft spot. And when that is breached, that's where you get hellcats and hellfire. That's what I've passed on. No, you don't, it's not that you don't coddle somebody, because in a sense, that's what brings out that warrior nature. And I'm a woman, I know, you know. It's something you do not want to cross, but you're not going to make warriors from them not having the recognition of their femininity. It's when the femininity is intruded upon that they become wild, what people might call Bakken. Well, it's a little worse than that. We call it barbkins. So no worries. There's we don't have to worry about nurturing that in women. That's already in, out in the world in full colors. you know, for the ones that are going to have that, they know what I'm talking about, ladies. So anyway, yeah, no worries. But a man can't do that for a woman. Only the friendship or the mother of that woman can instill that. A father can help, no doubt. So, anyway, cheers, everybody. I hope your weekend's going well. I'm going to get this uploaded. That's probably about it. Uh, have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a good week ahead. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Talk to you soon.